My name is Noor Ali Sawi, and today we will be reading Harry's Hiccups by Jean Little, and all the pictures are going to be by Joe Weissman. I'm so excited to get this book started. So, Harry Chung and his friend Mark were playing a game when Harry got the hiccups. "Drink some water," Dad said. "Drink 9 swallows in a row without breathing," Mark said. Harry tried. He made it to 9 and then gasped for air. Hiccups continued. "You have to drink it upside down," Harry's big sister Eve said. Harry stood on his head and tried to drink upside down. Water flooded in the kitchen floor. "Not like that," Eve said. Harry's mother sighed and fetched the mop. "Watch me," Eve said. "This works like magic." Harry and Mark watched Eve lean over and drink from the far side of the glass. It looked easy. Harry tried it. He choked. He spluttered. Water went up his nose. "You've got hopeless hiccups," Eve said, patting him on the back. "I'm sorry, but there is no cure." "A spoonful of sugar has worked for me," Harry's mother said. Harry got the biggest spoon in the drawer. He heaped it high with sugar. Harry chung, not that much. But Harry had already gulped down the whole spoonful. He licked his lips and smiled. Harry's father was watching the baseball game. "Go ask Mrs. Logan what to do. She loves giving people advice," he said. Harry and Mark went to the apartment next door and knocked. When Mrs. Logan opened the door, her twin boys ran out and took off down the hallway. "Catch them!" she cried. Mark and Harry found the twins waiting for the elevator. "Want a piggyback ride?" Harry said. "Yes!" cried the twins. When they got back to Mrs. Logan's, Harry and Mark were all out of breath, but still. "How do you cure the hiccups, Mrs. Logan?" Mark asked. "Hold your breath, Harry," she said. "As long as you can, that's what I do." Harry held his breath, and held his breath, and held his breath. He grew dizzy, his ears popped, and his eyes bulged. "Breathe, Harry, breathe!" shrieked Mrs. Logan. Harry gulped in air and... When they got back to the Chungs, Harry's mother said, "Why not call Grandma? She'll think of something." Grandma laughed when she heard Harry hiccup. "A cup of tea helps me, but your grandpa always breathes into a brown paper bag. If one of those cures doesn't work, the other will." Harry's mother made tea while Harry found a paper bag. He put it over his head and breathed. He got the giggles. The tea didn't work either. Mr. Sanchez came over to watch the baseball game. He sat down and grinned at Harry. "My mother dropped a key down our backs to stop hiccups, a big cold brass key." "We'll try anything," Dad said. He found a big brass key and put it in the freezer for 1 minute. Then he dropped it inside Harry's t-shirt. "Eek!" Harry screeched as the key slid down his bare back. Mark had gone to ask his brother's advice. He came running back to the Chung's apartment. "My brother told me what you have to do," he said with a big grin. "Put your head between your knees and stuff your fingers in your ears. Cross your eyes, stick out your tongue, and hum 'Mary Had a Little Lamb,' but all at once. He said it's a sure cure." Harry tried it. So did Mark. But they laughed so hard they fell over. "Harry, give me your weary ears a rest and go outside," his mother begged. "Maybe fresh air will do the trick." "Your hiccups might be contagious," Eve cried. "Go, Harry, please." Harry and Mark went down to the little stream behind the apartment building. Harry sat down on a rock and shut his eyes. He felt very tired and a little sad. What if there was really no cure? What if he was going to keep hiccuping forever? Splash! Harry jumped. His eyes flew open. He swiveled around wildly. Then he looked down. A big green frog looked back at him. "My hiccups!" Harry yelled. "They're gone!" The chunks came out on the balcony to see what the commotion was about. His hiccups have stopped. Mark called up to them. Everyone cheered. The green frog turned to hop away. It went. Harry laughed. "Try a drink of water," he called after it. "Try it upside down." But Harry didn't celebrate. He stared down at the frog. "You cured me. You scared every last hiccup away. Thank you, frog." And then the frog himself tried every single cure. He tried the tea, he tried the water, he tried the snails, he tried sitting upside down, the brass key, the falling down. He tried the rice, he tried the bag, he tried everything, but he couldn't get rid of it. At the end, a snail walked up to him and scared him the same way the frog scared Harry. And guess what? He was freed of the hiccups. And guess what else happened? The snail got the hiccups. It is contagious, isn't that? So, this was the book of Harry getting rid of the hiccups. And from this, we learned that the hiccups are something that is not any traditional cure can cure it, and that you can treat it through getting scared all of a sudden from an animal and giving the hiccups to another animal. So what we learned today is that sometimes things don't go our way, and sometimes if we are going through something that is not that great, like hiccups or a tough exam or a tough test, then it is okay. Because even if we try everything that we can and we really put our all and study so very hard for this test, but still don't get the results that we want, it is still okay, and there is always, always hope at the end of the tunnel. And maybe the most unexpected things will give us the results that we want, like a random animal scaring us, like a frog, or a snail scaring that frog. So never lose hope and always stay optimistic. What does optimistic mean, Noor? Now you ask. Well, optimistic means is to always look at the better sides of things. For example, if there is a cup and the cup is half filled with water, so half of the cup is full with water, but half of the cup is empty. So there's two people. They go and look at the cup. Person number one says, "Oh my goodness, the cup is half full. I am so thirsty. I am so happy and grateful that the cup is half full. I can drink that water. It'll be enough for me. I am so grateful. This is so great." And they're just so happy and they're focused on the half full water of the cup. But then there's person number two who looks at the cup and is like, "Oh my, that cup is half empty. unbelievable. How could I possibly be okay with that? Half of the cup is empty. Look at that emptiness. I can't believe it. And they're just very sad, and they're not feeling great, and they're like, this is not okay. I am so sad. But they overlook that the cup is half full. There is still some water there. There is something for them to survive on, but they decide to focus on the bad, on the negativity, which is not something we want to be in life. Person number 1 who focused on the good and the half-filled cup, we call them optimistic because they decide to see the good in the world. They decide that they're going to be happy today and they will find things to make them happy, like finding the half-filled cup and focusing on that. Person number 2 is a pessimistic person. So it's the opposite of an optimistic person because they don't look at the good. They focus on the bad in the world. They focus on the half-empty cup, on the things they tried that did not work out. They are deciding to be sad every day, and they go out and wake up every day and they're like, okay, what makes me sad today? And that is something that we don't want to do because those kind of people are rarely going to be happy. And it makes life so much harder to go through. But if you are a happy person, and you might not have all the best things, you have the same exact amount of water as the person who is sad, but you decide to focus on the half-filled cup of water. So every single day, kids, remember to wake up and find things in the world that make you happy. For example, look at your room and look at how you have maybe an animal, or you have a sibling, or you have your favorite kind of toy. Aren't you so happy you have that? Maybe you don't have some things that you want, but you will in the future. And it's okay because you have the things that you do now. You have a parent, and you are so happy that you do, and you should be happy. And always stay happy. Look at the best parts of the world and best parts of things. And always, always, always look at the half-filled cup of water. Don't focus on the bad. Now, we are all done from this story. I hope you all learned something today. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your days. Bye.